Okay, so now we are going to multiply by multiples of 10. We just learned that multiples of 10 are any number that ends with 0 and that you use 10 to multiply to get there. So, for example, 20 in this problem is a multiple of 10, and now we're going to multiply by multiples of 10. Now, looking at this problem, I'm not going to just take 20 times 7 to answer it. I am going to look for a smaller problem first. I'm not going to start with a huge problem and try to get a huge problem if I can see smaller pieces that will help me answer it. So in this problem right away, I see 2 and I see 7. And I know that 2 times 7 gives me 14. Okay? Since 2 times 7 gives me 14, then I have the beginning part of my answer. However, remember, we're multiplying by multiples of 10, so they will have zeros at the end. That means that we need to include that 0 right here at the end. So 20 times 7 gives you 140. What we did is first we took 2 times 7 and we made that into 14. Then what we did is we took that 0 and we brought that over and put it here at the end of the problem. What that was doing was saying, okay, we know 2 times 7 multiplies together to get 14. Then we're going to do 14 times 10. That gives me 140. So bringing the 0 over meant that you were multiplying by 10 in an easy way. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the rest of these problems. I'm going to grab a different color so you can refer back to that red one as we go through. So we have 5 times 4. 5 times 4, I know that if I count 5 4 times, it will get me to where I need to go. So 5, 10, 15, 20. 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, so I'm going to have to bring that 0 from the 40 over to right here. Now remember, we're bringing the 0 over. However, when we bring that 0 over, that meant that we multiplied the product of 5 times 4, which is 20, by 10. And that gave us 200. The next one here, you see 5 and you see 7. I'm going to also count by 5s here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So I count by 5s 7 times and I get 35 right here. Okay? Now remember, we're going to bring that 0 over, which is the same as multiplying by 10 in a quicker way. We're going to bring that 0 over here, and we're going to get 350 for our answer. Okay, let's do it one last time. As we're going through it one last time, make sure that you're understanding the steps of what we're doing. First, we're looking for a smaller problem. So 5 times 50, if we look for a smaller problem, we can see 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5 times 5 is 25. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 25 over here, but I'm not done yet. So here's our second step. Our second step is either just to bring the 0 over or multiply 25 times 10, which would give you the same thing, which is 250. So before we go today, I'm going to write down these steps for you. Number 1, first thing that you need to do is find a smaller problem. That's what we did when we came over here and looked at 2 times 7 and got 14. When we looked at 5 times 4 and got 20, and so on. Okay? Now that we've done that, we need to move the 0 over or multiply by 10. That means we multiply what we get for our product here. So this one, 5 times 4 was 20. We multiply 20 times 10, that gives us 200. Or you can just bring the 0 over, but they mean the same thing. So let's look at these steps one more time. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to, number 1, find a smaller problem. Repeat with me. Find a smaller problem. So you're going to find a smaller problem. Then the second step you're going to do is either move the 0 or multiply by 10. So say with me, move the 0 or multiply by 10. That's your second step. First, find the smaller problem. Then your second step is move the 0 or multiply by 10. If you are struggling with this concept, come back to this video and watch it again to see if it helps you. Okay, let's try it.